Memory bench to a murdered student, and small businesses get a spring fling boost in Carthage. KOAM News at 10. Next. Now at 10, a permanent memorial now stands at Triway Elementary for a fourth grader murdered nearly 2 decades ago. Plus, tariff concerns inspire Carthage small business owners to launch this weekend's Spring Fling event. And a Native American exhibit aims to preserve cultural traditions in Quapaw, Oklahoma.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The Triway Elementary School dedicates a memory bench to a former student who was murdered 18 years ago. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Anthony Saviello. The school held the dedication today in Stella, Missouri, where Rowan Ford was a student. Rowan was a 4th grade student when she was murdered in 2007. The bench was created as a permanent place where she could be remembered. Funding for the bench was provided by the Triway PTA, Mount Hope Cemetery in Webb City, and Quality Memorials in Carthage. Teachers and staff attended the ceremony, as did numerous law enforcement. Ford went missing from her home on November 3rd, 2007. After a 6-day search, her body was found in a cave in McDonald County. She had been raped and murdered. A family friend, Christopher Collings, was convicted of the crime. He was sentenced to death in 2012 and executed just last year. Rowan Ford would have turned 27 years old today. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty for a first look at weather.
Well, definitely turned out to be a fantastic Friday for us today. Yeah, it was a little bit cooler than what we saw on Wednesday, also on Thursday, and yes, a little bit cooler than our average high, but still, it's Friday and a great day. 64 was our high, 68 is our average high, so a smidge below where we should be for this time of the year. Pretty much clear skies. We're going to see pretty much clear skies tonight, and then sunny skies once we go into Saturday. Now, the winds have been decreasing a bit over the past few hours, but they're going to pick up again. As we get into Saturday, the southerly winds increasing, so we'll have gusts 25 to 30 at times, but they get stronger on Sunday. We're going to have gusts near 40 miles per hour, but at least our temperatures look fantastic. So heading into Saturday morning, kind of a chilly start into lower 40s. We're going to look at your weekend forecast here in just a bit.
All right, Doug, thanks. A Carthage event hopes to promote supporting local businesses in a time of tariff uncertainty. The Spring Fling, organized by the Carthage Chamber of Commerce, features more than 24 local businesses. Brick and mortar stores are opening their doors with deals, and home-based businesses are set up at the McCune Brooks Healthcare Foundation. Both organizers and participating businesses say it's an opportunity for the community to support each other as they navigate the potential impact of tariffs.
While that is something that everyone is talking about, it's when we can have events like this to bring people out, to show that we're open, and every little bit helps a small business. And when we can highlight those, it's always good.
The Spring Fling continues in Carthage tomorrow, including free photos with the Easter Bunny. You can learn more on our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. Last weekend's rain may have washed out plans, but Neosho's citywide garage sales are back on for this weekend. It's a chance for neighbors to cash in on clutter, clearing out closets and garages while giving treasure hunters a shot at great deals. One citizen says citywide sales like this are a great way to bring the community together and to turn unwanted items into something useful for someone else.
We've got some stuff out here that somebody might want. They can refurbish and bring new life to it. They may want, like I said, the specific items that we don't want anymore. You can always bring new life to new things. So this is absolutely a great opportunity for that.
And if you missed it today, there's still time to join in. The Neosho Citywide Garage Sale continues tomorrow as well. Alongside with Neosho, Pittsburgh is holding its own Citywide Garage Sale this weekend. The residents wasted no time setting up shop in their yards and driveways. With the sun shining and spring in the air, Pittsburgh locals took advantage of the opportunity to clear out clutter and cash in on unwanted items. Community-wide sales are a chance for neighbors to connect and give new life to old things. A 4 states favorite event that's also the definition of supporting small local businesses returns to Carthage today. Food Truck Friday circled Central Park with everything from sweet to savory on the menu. The family fun event also featured some live music.
So every month, the second Friday of every month from 11 to 9, Central Park will have food trucks, will have vendors, table vendors, Central Park's huge. We got plenty of grass area, so we'll never sell out of those spots. I hope we do. But definitely, if you're interested in becoming a vendor, come out today and see the vibe that you get, and you won't regret it.
Just in case you missed Food Truck Friday today, the event runs until September, and the next Friday you can dig into your favorite food truck is May 9th. City of Grove, Oklahoma also let the good times roll for Food Truck Friday. In addition to great food from local vendors, visitors could also enjoy live music, a car show, and inflatables for the kids.
And I really love all the people getting together. I love the community atmosphere, and I mean, you can't beat the food at these trucks.
Some friends invited us over to come and join them because they've came here several times, and they invited us, and here we are.
The event, hosted by the Grove Convention and Tourism Bureau, took place in downtown Grove. The next Food Truck Friday will take place in May as well. Quapaw Nation Museum unveils its newest exhibit today, Around the Shoulders. This showcase features a collection of custom-made robes, blankets, and shawls celebrating a rich cultural tradition stretching back long before European contact. Organizers say the exhibit is more than just a display, it's a commitment to preserving heritage and passing it on to the next generation through education and storytelling.
Explores the way that our tribe made leather painted robes historically, and provides information that's not always discussed. It also talks about the introduction of blankets and shawls and how long we've worn them, and I feel like there's something for everyone to be able to learn there.
If you are interested and want to learn more, the exhibit will run until the fall. Well, many people may be looking to get in their first float of the year this weekend, but some rivers in the area are still high after last week's rain. One outfitter on the upper Current River says there is debris just under the surface of the water that's hard to see. That debris can easily flip canoes and kayaks. Swiftly moving water is also a danger.
Right now, the current speed's probably twice what it is during the summer, and if they get up against it, then the current will suck them under the debris, the root wad, a log, or whatever.
Outfitters won't rent out kayaks and canoes if it isn't safe. If you use your own to float this weekend, be sure to wear a life jacket. You can also call the nearest outfitter to ask about river conditions and water levels. Well, as President Trump pushes for economic dominance, China fires back with huge tariffs, the trade war that affects your wallet straight ahead. And from political activism to simple traffic tickets, why international students at Mizzou may lose their right to stay. The U.S. and China remained locked in a trade war with neither side backing down. As Erica Brown reports, consumers find themselves caught in the crossfire.
The U.S. and China keep upping the ante in their tiff over tariffs. China fired their latest retaliation against the U.S., increasing the tax on U.S. goods to 125% starting Saturday. The move comes after President Trump raised tariffs on Chinese imports to 145% and excluded Beijing from his 90-day tariff pause for most trade partners.
I want to put the country in an unbelievable economic position, which is where we should be.
Consumers are caught in a battle between the world's two largest economies. George Ma runs a souvenir shop in New York's Chinatown.
The price double or triple up, then I don't think so people will buy, Right now they still complain expensive.
And as the Trump administration continues the deportation efforts, part of their immigration crackdown, an immigration judge in Louisiana ruled the U.S. can deport former Columbia University student Mahmoud Khalil despite his status as a permanent U.S. resident. Khalil led pro-Palestinian protests against the war in Gaza on Columbia's campus. The State Department argued the protests were anti-Semitic and he poses a national security risk. A statement from Khalil's wife was read during a press conference.
Today's decision feels like a devastating blow to our family. No person should be deemed removable from their home for speaking out against the killing of Palestinian families, doctors, and journalists.
Khalil's attorney argues he never committed a crime and was targeted by the government for exercising his right to free speech. Erica Brown, CBS News, Washington.
A separate court case challenging the legality of Khalil's detention is still ongoing. University of Missouri is among the colleges that have international students whose visas have been revoked. In many cases, students have been targeted due to political activism, such as supporting Palestinians. But one Mizzou professor says others have seen their visas revoked for infractions as minor as a speeding ticket. She's calling on her school to do more to help them.
It's incredibly stressful to learn in the middle of the semester that you have 15 days to leave the country or be in violation of the law. So there's a need for academic support, emotional support, logistical and financial support. And I know that Mizzou has offered a list of lawyers who focus on immigration, but students will have to pay these lawyers themselves. And for graduate students, their stipends for research or teaching may have stopped when their visas were revoked.
One European scholar at the school says international students should take precautions. They point out those students should understand to what degree they can participate in civil society. Measles cases have surpassed 700 with outbreaks in 7 states. 79 cases have led to hospitalization and 3 people have died. 500 cases have been reported in Texas alone. Other states reporting measles cases include Kansas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Arkansas has confirmed its 2nd case of measles, and Oklahoma has reported 12 different measles cases. All of them were listed as unvaccinated or had an unknown vaccination status. The use of the flu vaccine is rising among groups that have previously lagged behind in vaccinations. A study published in JAMA showed between 2019 and 2022, flu vaccination rates rose 7% for older Black adults in rural communities and 8% for older Hispanic adults in rural communities. However, vaccinations of white people in rural areas are decreasing. Doug returns with a complete look at your forecast, and a little later, Pittsburgh takes on Wellington in day 2 of the Adam LaRoche tournament. Ben McLeish has highlights coming up in sports.
Well, of course, it turned out to be a fantastic Friday, really all week long. After a very wet week last week with showers, thunderstorms, severe weather, we are looking pretty good as we go into the weekend. 51 by 11 down to 45 by 7 a.m. I think our overnight low is going to be right around 43. This stays above that frost level, but yeah, it's kind of chilly. Quick rebound right back to 60 by 10 o'clock in the morning. The winds get kind of moving once again, so we're going to have gusts 25 to 30 at times on Saturday. They get even stronger on Sunday. We'll have gusts near 40, maybe a smidge above. So if you want to get out and do some mowing, Saturday is the better day so you don't have grass and dust blowing all over you. And if we look at our wind forecast, so where's your trash can going to end up? So if we look down the street, you got little to no movement tipped over nearby neighbor's yard down the street. I think this is kind of a tipped over but nearby kind of situation, which is good. So those winds gusting 25 to 30 by tomorrow afternoon. On Sunday, those gusts are going to be pushing 40, maybe 42-ish during the afternoon. At least we got clear skies. We'll stick with sunny skies on Saturday. We got rain across the eastern seaboard. Here's our next little system, not a rainmaker, but it will drop a cold front through as we get into Sunday night. All right, let's look at your weekend. We're going to stop at about 6, 7 a.m. Saturday morning. Chilly, lower 40s, but not bad. Quick warm up with those southerly winds. I think by noon, we're going to be into the upper 60s. Let's go into the afternoon. High temperatures this time of the year, roughly about 4:30 or 5 o'clock. Most of us 73, 74, 75, 76 degrees. So mid 70s on your Saturday afternoon. Saturday evening, great for fire pits. We don't really drop off too much. We're going to drop back near 60. Yes, it's going to be a little windy, but the wind's not too strong. They get really moving on Sunday. But look at this, on Sunday afternoon, we pop into lower 80s for highs. We are going to have some clouds kind of rotating through. Sunday night, watch the wind shift line. Here it comes. Here's a cold front. So this will usher in some cooler air as we go into Monday and Tuesday. It's not going to be cold, But yes, it's going to be cooler than what we're going to see this weekend. Great grilling weather. Windy, but look at this, 80s showing up by Sunday afternoon. Now, behind that front, Sunday night, a little cooler for us on Monday, lower 60s for highs. Tuesday, we start to inch back up, mid to upper 60s for highs on Tuesday. Once we get into Wednesday, some showers, a few scattered thunderstorms. Instability doesn't look great, but there is going to be some there. So we should get some thunderstorms. Right now, I'm not too worried about a severe threat, but something we'll keep our eyes on as we go through the next several days. 75 on your Saturday, 82 on your Sunday, 60s Monday and Tuesday, but 70s return on Wednesday and Thursday, also with those chances for rain. Anthony?
Thanks, Doug. Coming up in sports, our local Oklahoma high school baseball teams resume play in the Mickey Mantle Classic. Plus, we get our first look at the 2025 Missouri Southern football team in action. Ben McLeish has those stories and more coming up in sports.
It's day 2 of the Adam LaRoche and Mickey Mantle High School baseball tournaments. We get started bright and early this morning in Commerce. Fairland against Haskell in day 2 of the Mickey Mantle Classic. Brady Neal's up to bat with bases loaded in the first, and he sneaks that one through the infield. Elias Gonzalez is safe at the plate. Haskell leads 1-0. Bases are still loaded for Brody Greider. He flies one deep to center. This one lands just past the outstretched glove of Jackson Bowers. That clears the bases. Haymakers up 5-0, and the Owls have yet to record an out. Gabe Esch is the new pitcher on the mound. He forces a grounder to second for the final out in the inning, but Haskell leads by 6 after 1, and it doesn't get any prettier from there. The Haymakers take down the Owls 16-0. Pittsburgh baseball faces Wellington in the quarterfinals of the Adam LaRoche tournament in Fort Scott. Top of the first, Jet Burgess hits a chopper up the middle. He hustles to first and gets there safely. Next batter, Carson Nicholson. He bounces one towards the right side, and that's another infield single for the Dragons, but they'd get stranded on the bases. In the bottom of the first, Wellington with runners on second and third, ground ball to Nicholson at third, and he makes a great heads-up play to get the out, but the Crusaders would start to break through. Bottom of the second, Sky Branham turns on this pitch and launches it into the right field corner. 2 runs will score on an RBI triple. Purple Dragons fall to the Crusaders in the opening round of the LaRoche tournament. Final score 4-0. Switching gears to college baseball, Pittsburgh State brings its 9-game winning streak on the road to Rogers State this afternoon and stretches it to 10. The Gorillas win the first game of their series over the Hillcats 6-4 in 10 innings. Meanwhile, Missouri Southern baseball has a non-con game against Illinois Springfield. The Lions fall 5-3. These two will play each other 3 more times over the next couple of days. The Lions softball team is in Warrensburg for a doubleheader against the Jennies, and both games go into extras. Southern scrapes out a 3-1 10-inning win in Game 1, but loses in the 9th 6-5 in Game 2. 23rd ranked Pitt State softball just wrapped up a doubleheader in Tahlequah. The Gorillas' 10-game winning streak gets snapped in the first contest, but they bounce back in the second with a 3-1 victory. PSU faces Central Missouri tomorrow. Tonight we get the first look at the 2025 Missouri Southern football team facing an opponent in a competitive environment. For the second straight year, Missouri Southern shares the field for its annual spring game. This time the Lions have a new opponent, East Central. The 2 teams take the field together for combined drills. The Lions put their practice to the test against a real opponent, but the fun begins during the scrimmage against the Tigers. Just like a real game, there's a running clock, referees, and 4 downs to work with, so we get a little taste of Lions football right now, but that's all we're going to get until they kick off the regular season at home versus Midwestern State University on August 30th.
Well, Football season, it's crazy that we're already talking about football season, but it almost feels like we're ready. I'm ready to see it.
Yeah,
sure.
It's still a couple of months away, but I mean, it's the summer, man. That time is going to fly right past, and before you know it, Missouri Southern and Pitt State are going to be playing their games.
There is one more sport that's going on this weekend. I'm sure many of our viewers are watching it because we air it on KOAM. But have you been watching the Masters at all?
I have not had time.
All right, you're going to have to watch the Masters this weekend, and tomorrow I'm going to ask who you got winning on Sunday. So
well,
you're
I
gonna
am
have
the
to
sports guy, so I should be able to pick
all right.
that correctly.
I expect you to pick the correct answer. So we'll be right back.
Well, it's definitely going to be a great weekend. 75 for us tomorrow, only down to 60 Saturday night. 82 on Sunday. Now the winds are going to kind of be moving, 25 to 30 on Saturday, near 40 on Sunday. We get a cold front through, so we cool down into the 60s Monday and Tuesday. Rain chances the middle of next week.
All right, Doug, thanks. The Joplin Parks and Recreation Department hosted a flashlight egg hunt this evening. Kids ages 3 to 10 could embark on a nighttime adventure with the help of a flashlight or glow-in-the-dark gear. They could also enjoy bounce houses, prize bags for each participant, and refreshments. The event took place at the Gene Bassman Softball Complex. Well, I'm a little jealous. I want to go egg hunting in the dark. So I'm also jealous of this new fashion statement that you got going on here with this basketball net around your neck. Go ahead, tell the people why you're wearing a basketball net.
Yeah, I picked her up in San Antonio. My alma mater, the Florida Gators, won their 3rd ever national championship.
Yeah.
It was so exciting seeing my favorite team win a national championship. But Anthony, do you think this is going to be the first year in a while that one of our local MIAA football teams wins a national championship?
I think that Pitt State is a power to be reckoned with. So I think Pitt State football is I think they're gonna land something
I hope
this
I
year.
can bring my good luck to the 4 states, and one of our teams can make a run this year.
We'll see if it happens. Have a great night.